Hello, welcome to Whitman Technologies. So today we are going to learn about directive, conditional statements and loops in Visual View Engine. So in this video, we would be learning about all these functionalities in our application, how we can implement in the view, right? So what is the objective of this video is that we will learn how we can write looping statement like for loop and for each loop in our particular view, and how we can write HTML code in the Visual View Engine, and all the conditional statements like if block, right? And how we can apply directives in our Visual View engines. And we will also look at the end of the video what all we have other view engines beyond this Visual View engine, right? So let's flip to the Visual Studio without wasting any time. Yeah, so let's create a new application. I'm going to create a new project from the scratch. I have taken this ASP.NET Web application and we can give it a meaningful name like we are going to learn in this video about Visual View Engine. So let's give it name as Visual View Engine, right? And I'm clicking on the OK button. We will take the empty one. I'm going to choose empty template and we will check this checkbox MVC. So I'm repeating all the, I'm doing the same step as we did in our earlier videos, right? So it will create a project structure for us. So let's wait. Yes, so our MVC project application structure is being added by this Visual Studio, as you can see. And now let's click on the controller, and now we are going to add a controller. So let's add a controller, the same step, and we are going to choose MVC5 controller empty. Click on add button, and I'm going to give it a meaningful name. Let's suppose home controller. Let's add it. Yes, so now our home controller is added in our MVC application, and under this controller we have one index section method, and for this index section method now we are going to add a view. So let's right click on this method and click on add view, and the same name we would be taking index. And let's uncheck this checkbox, and I'm going to add. So our view will be added inside our view folder. We can see inside the view we have one home folder and index.cshtml. So I'm going to delete all this statement from the top, and now this is a pure HTML. Now let's start. We will go for the conditional statement. So let's suppose, so in the body section we will write our Visual View Engine statements, right? And let's suppose at the rate is the indication that we are going to write our user syntax, right? And let's suppose take this block, and in this block we are going to declare one integer variable like result, let's suppose, and in this we are storing it 5, right? And in the step block we are going to write if block. For writing if block we need to write at the rate, and as soon as I have written if, so we can enter, we can press tab key from the keyboard 2 times. It will generate a structure for us for the if block, right? And over here we can write if result exactly equal to 5, then we can print statement like now we can write some HTML code. Let's suppose we want to print hello, I am from if block and value is equal to 5, value is equal to, or let's suppose we write only that I am from a block and condition is true, right? So let's save our file and let's run it. Our application is running in the browser. It's going to call home controller and the index section method, and for this index section method we have already provided a view, right? And on that view we have, on that particular view we have performed some, you can see that it is if we have applied this condition, and if condition is true, it is printing this hello I am from a block, and condition is true, right? Now let's go to the, again to our view. Now let's apply else if block. How we can write else if block? So for that we need to write else if, and then again pressing 2 time tabs, right? Same I'm going to write over here. Let's suppose message, and here let's suppose if result exactly equal to 2, over here let me write 1, right? And hello I'm from a block, and condition is hello I'm from, over right we can write hello I'm from block 2, hello I'm from block 1, right? And let's create one more block, and we can write when result exactly equal to 3, I am from block 3. And if any condition doesn't match, then we need to provide our else, right? And over here we can write hello I am from else block, right? Save this file, and here we can write, let's suppose 1. Let's see what it will give the output. Now what we have done, it's a very simple if statement, result equal to 1, and we are checking the condition, and according to the condition it will print the statement. So right now it is 1, so it will print block for block 1. Let's see. Yes, we can see hello I am from block 1, because condition is true. Now let's suppose we make it to the 2. Now it will print this statement. Go to the view, now reload our page. So it will print hello I am from block 2 this time. You can see hello I'm from block 2 this time. And now let's suppose we are printing, we are assigning this variable to 3. Now let's reload. We can see now it will print hello I am from block 3, because this time this condition is true, right? So we can see hello I am from block 3. Let's suppose we want to enter into this else part. Let's suppose we assign this variable with another, let's suppose 6, right? Now no any condition is matching, so the control will go into the else part, and it will print hello I am from else block. Let's wait. Yeah, we can see hello I am from else block. That means our if condition is working fine. Now one more thing, let me tell you how we can apply our ternary operator, right? So let's take one other div block, and in this div block, for writing with the syntax, we need to write at the rate and this variable. Okay, so let's suppose at the rate result exactly equal to 3, then we need to provide our this, if condition is true, then this, else this one, right? For using ternary operator, we need to provide this bracket exactly not like this, at the rate, then bracket, and then we can write access our result. and we need to check the condition. If it is equal to 3, then we will write the true part, else we'll write the false part. In that, if condition is true, let us print condition is true, and in our else part, let's print condition is false, right? Now let's, this time in the result we are having 6, so it will print condition is false. So let's run our application and see what it's going to print. This time it will print condition is false, and this ternary we can see this condition is false, right? It is printing. And now let's suppose if we are assigning this result with our 3, that means it will now print this statement and condition is true, right? So let's reload our page. Let's see. You can see hello, I am from block 3 and condition is true because value of result is 3, right? So this is how we can apply a ternary operator in the view, right? And now let's do some manipulation with for loop. So for loop, let me delete this block div, right? And this div also. Now we are going to deal with our for loop. So for that, we need to write at the rate. That's indication of user syntax, right? For loop, I'm pressing tabs 2 times. It will generate a structure for us, right? And let's suppose I less than equal to 9, I less than equal to, let's suppose 10, and we are going to print, let's suppose, hello, I'm from index view and my number is, let's suppose we want to print the number every time. So my number is at the rate I, right? So let's save the file and it will generate a 10 times this message. So let's see. I have run the application and let's see what it's going to do. We have we are using this for loop and it will generate 10 times this message. Yeah, we can see hello, I am from index view and my number is 0 1 2 3 4 5 7 up to 9. 10 times it has printed, right? That means this is the way how we can use for loops on our particular view, right? And now let's suppose we want to deal with for each loop. So in that case, how what we can do, and for dealing with for each loop, let's take one collection. Let's suppose at the rate we take one variable, uh, not exactly this one, at the rate where, and we can take, let's suppose list, right? And we are going to at the rate where. Now we are going to, just a second. Yeah, so we need to write at the rate, and in this block we will provide our statement. We will add our C sharp statement, right? Where, and then we need to have a list. So equal to, we will take new list, and that list will be of integer type, right? And we are going to provide that list also. So let's suppose 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma separated, right, till 9, right? And this list we are going to access, right, using our in our new div block. So let's take new div block, and over here we will write for each loop, right? pressing the tab 2 times. Now where item, we can take any meaningful name. So let's suppose I'm taking where object, into which collection, into this collection I want to access. So we'll write this list over here, right? And in this list we want to print, let's suppose I'm taking one header, and we want to print, and we want to print that my roll number is, let's suppose my roll number is, we are going to access this object. It will access each and every item from this list, right? So that's why we have created one object, and it's going to access each and every item from this list, right? Now let's save this file and let's get rid of this, because we have already seen this for loop. Now we are working with our for each loop, right? So we have created one list that is of, we have created one collection that is of list type, and that list we are going to access with this for each loop, right? Let's save this file, and I have run this application in the Chrome browser. So let's see what it's going to print. Yes, we can see my roll number is 1 2 3 4 up to till 9. That means our for each loop is also working fine. So this is the way how we can work with our conditional statements and our looping statement, right? Now let's move to, and one more thing, let's suppose we do have a requirement in our project that we want to print as it is in our browser, as it is this, right? No, in our browser. So in that case, what we will do, we do have one tag in HTML that will take a text, right? And under text we'll place this statement, right? We can take this text, and we can copy this text under this tag, and let's close it, right? So it will print as it is in our browser. So let's see, I'm reloading this page. So at the top you can see, oh, I have stopped the application, so let's run it from here again. So let's see, on the top it will print as it is the list, whatever we have taken here, right? So let's see, we can see this list, the same it has printed on the browser, right? And the rest is same, your for each loop data, right? So let's stop this application. Now let's move on to our slide, and now let's let's work with directive in visuals. Before yeah, so directive in visuals. So on any view, we are having two method, either by using our namespace, we can add any model classes, or either by using model. So let's go to the Visual Studio, and I'll show you first of all by using namespace, right? So for that we need to add one model in our application. So let's go to our model folder, and I'm going to go add one new model, add, and I'm going to add this class. And let's suppose the class name I'm taking employee class, right? Employee class, and I'm adding it. It will add one employee class under the model folder, right? And under this employee class I'm generating one proper I'm going to generate some properties like mm, properties, right? For that, and similarly I'm taking another property. First one is your ID, second one is your name, right? And this is your string, right? But string data type. These two property I have taken, right? Now save this, and now this model, now this class I want to use on our index view, on this view, right? So for using this employee model on this index view using this employee model. We want to use this employee model on our this view, right? For that, at the top of the view, we need to write at the rate and the using namespace as we used to write in our C sharp, and the name of the application is our this Visual View Engine. Under Visual View Engine, we have this model and we want to access this model. So at the rate using Visual View Engine dot, you can see models, right? So now on this view, we can use this employee model on this view, right? So now let's create a object of an employee. We can see we can access now employee. Now we are going to create an object of employee, and right. And now we are going to take another div block. We are going to write id equal to now object of this employee is object dot. Now we can oh sorry, we need to write at the rate for accessing this object dot. We can see now we can access id and name. You can see id and name, so these two properties we have created in our employee class, right? So now we can directly access here. So let's suppose, so now I'm going to take an id object dot for the object dot id, and similarly now I want to show name, then object dot name, right. Now let's get rid of this. So we have already seen the use of this for each loop, so we have already saw how we can use. Now we are working with our employer model, and for this employer model we need to initialize the properties. Let's suppose for a time being I'm initializing id equal to 45 and name with weapon, right? I'm saving the file, and now we are going to access this employee object in this div, and it will print our this data id 45 and name weapon. So let's save in file. I'm saving the file, and I'm now running the application in the browser. So let's see, we can see it's running in the browser. So let's wait. Yeah, we can see it is printing id equal to 45 and name equal to weapon. That means we are able to access this model. And in this model, whatever data we are holding it, we can display in the browser in this view, right? So this is how we can use our using namespace in our Visual View Engine, right? That was the one approach. And other approach is that we do have a model at the model. So if you have watched my model video, so when I was explaining models in the MVC application over there, we have used that at the rate at the top of any of the view. So in this we are having index view. At the top of this view we need to write at the rate and then model, and then we need to tell that what type of model we are going to use. So for that we need to tell user view engine that models, close this, then visual view engine, that then we need to tell the models. And for using model, as I told you in my models videos, you can watch my that video. We need to write model, and we need to tell what type of model we are going to use, right? So similarly we can access that model into this view, right? So let's get rid of it. So now let's move to the slide. So we have seen that how we can use our for each loop and HTML statement and conditional statements, and how we can use directives in Razor as I told you just now, like this by using namespace, and which models we are going to use on our this particular view, right? And apart from this, we do have other view engines in our ASP.NET MVC application, right? In the earlier, when the MVC was developed in the starting, we were having that ASPX version in the version 1.0 and version 2.0. We were having by default this ASPX view engine. But later on, from MVC 3 version and onwards, and after MVC 3 version, we are having Razor View Engine, and most of the companies are using Razor View Engine, right? Apart from this, we are having all this view engine also. We can see that Braille, Sharp Tiles, and HML, and many more we do have apart from this, right? So that was all about in this video, that we have learned that how we can use looping statement and conditional statements and directives in our Razor, right? So that's all in this video. So stay tuned and please do subscribe my channel. And if you have any doubts or queries, so please post me in the comment. I will definitely reply to you. That's it for today. Now let's meet in the next video. Right. So take care. Bye bye.